Do you think this phone could potentially be a number 3 in the Android game? So we have Samsung, Google Pixel. I don't know who number 3 is right now, but could they potentially be the runner-up?
So I think just that benefit that he's got from the install base, which he's been able to collect over the years, has given him an edge. But I still think that this could be a story of the hare and the tortoise.
For the first time on this phone, they've also introduced the LTPO display, which can go up to 120 hertz all the way down to 1 hertz, which again, all amazing things.
Okay. Let's see what this is. Okay. Last thing that I would tell Elon Musk is you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. People of the internet, welcome to another edition of the Flipaforum podcast, episode 7. My name is Michael.
I'm Omar.
And I'm Samir.
And we have an exciting lineup of news to discuss. First up, we'll dive into the social media revolution with Meta's new application Threads. With 10 million users in 7 hours, this ad-free platform is stirring up the pot. We'll discuss the impact and concerns around Meta's growing dominance and Elon Musk's reaction. Secondly, we'll have a discussion about absolutely nothing. What do I mean by nothing? We'll switch to the smartphone battlefront with the new Nothing Phone 2. Will its innovative design and high-end specs justify its price? Lastly, we'll play a new game, What's Inside the Box. I cannot wait for this one, guys. Omar, talk to me about Threads. What's going on here?
Okay, Threads. I know I had like mixed feelings about Threads about a week ago when we talked about this. I can say confidently I'm very excited about it now. Threads, you can say, is a new platform, but it's a very familiar platform. It's a platform that has millions and millions of users active. And why do I say that? It's Instagram. It's a very familiar user interface with a lot of Instagram users that will feel very comfortable moving over to Threads. It's for me. When I played around with it for a little bit, it was like Instagram Lite Edition. It's very clean, very user friendly. It doesn't have all of that nonsense with ads and obviously interruptions and what have you. So it was quite enjoyable for me to use this, and obviously for users that are already very familiar with Instagram, it will be very, very easy for them to switch over. So I think this is the right move, Mike, at the right time. And kudos to Meta and the team who've really, I think they've got a firing cannon here or something. So
yeah,
it might
absolutely.
it might just be the nail in the coffin, as you said.
I actually have a very interesting quote here. Threads has now surpassed 100 million users, which means it has met the milestone dramatically faster than ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT alone was incredible, if you ask me, in terms of how fast they accelerated their growth. What contributed to Threads' such massive growth in such a short span of time?
You got to look at what is happening in the tech space. Twitter. Not long ago, Twitter was obviously taken over by Elon. Shortly after, we saw some org changes, which resulted in then policy changes. One of the big ones that is very unpopular is the fact that people have to pay a fee to be verified. There was a lot of back and forth on Twitter about this. A lot of Twitter users were not happy about the fact that they would now have to, pay for a service, which has essentially been free always. That resulted in a little bit of, it was an aha moment. If you think about social media platforms, what consumed Snapchat? Instagram, right? Similarly, it's a very, very similar move here where we see Threads is still brand new, 100 million downloads in 5 days.
Yep.
But it is doing all of the things right. And when I said right timing, I meant that obviously all of this storm is brewing in the Twitters. In Twitter, what they've done is they haven't introduced something new. They've taken something that exists. They've basically totally copied what Twitter is doing, introduced it in a very Insta-like fashion to Insta users as well. And they've just said, hey, here you go.
Yeah. Enjoy
Enjoy it, play with it, have fun with it. You will like the experience. And that's what people are experiencing right now. More and more people are talking about it. And a retweet might be something of the past because rethread just sounds pretty natural as well, right? So I think that is one of the biggest reasons as to why that many people are switching. And just a very easy UI is what's going to constitute to a takeover.
I found the integration to be so simple. It was literally you downloaded the application and you pressed one button, and then all of a sudden they would transfer all of your followers onto your account. You can follow everybody with a click of a button. And I found it was a genius move by Mark Zuckerberg. The way he implemented this strategy is just incredible. I'd like to get into the unique form of the numbered ranking system. I initially first didn't know what that number meant. Do you guys know what I'm applying? That little small number on the Instagram account. Now, when I created the accounts for my personal account, for the business account, I noticed these, random miscellaneous numbers. So it was around 30 million or whatnot. And I'm like, is that my username? Is that just a random number that is generated? And then I start looking at other people's profiles, and I quickly grasp the idea of it being a numbered ranking system. So what do you guys think? Do you think that was a smart strategy implemented by Meta?
It's a very, very smart strategy because what this does is creates the fear of missing out.
Exactly.
You think about license plates, you think about phone numbers, having the number 1, 2, 3 is like people go after that. So what happened is there was a big rush. Like once people started figuring this out, there was a big rush to be in the first million. Then there was a rush to be in the first 10 million. Now we've surpassed 100 million.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty confident, and we'll talk about what numbers we're at, but I'm pretty confident that people will take some sense of pride in being early adapters.
Do you think these numbers have any value? You know how they resell these license plates in Dubai, like the number 1 or the number 2 or whatever? These license plates are selling for millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
If I had, let's say, a number like 1,000, for example, do you think somebody would buy it for an X amount of dollars, let's say $1 million?
If this thing kicked off and it became, let's say a Twitter equivalent or bigger because they have more followers coming from Instagram, I'm just now thinking about how much I want to sell my number for if that ever became a thing.
Samir, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a bit too early to really decide who the winner is. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks.
Well, I think it's been a week, but I mean, just the growth is incredible on Meta's side. I've never seen anything like it. Now, my point is they've implemented such unique strategy, right? The simple integration and the numbered ranking system. I mean, obviously, no brand new company can just come out and implement a strategy like this. Like ChatGPT is a brand new company, so I give them a lot of respect for growing the way they did naturally. Yep. But
what I'm saying is he's already got a big install base, right? I mean, he's got install base to work with. He's not starting from zero.
Yeah.
I mean, there alone is a huge advantage, right? I mean, for the kind of exposure he can get by just allowing people to take their Instagram profile and just port it into Threads and work with Threads, it's a very simple thing to do. It's not rocket science, right? So I think just that benefit that he's got from the install base, which he's been able to collect over the years, has given him an edge. But I still think that this could be a story of the hare and the tortoise. Right. So he always gets a jump start.
But I was looking at some of the numbers, Samir. The Instagram base itself is, I think, 10 to 12 times bigger than what Twitter is today. So you're already ahead. They are promising a cleaner experience. Okay, Meta historically has been notorious for, like, I won't say violating, but going after consumer privacy. Like they're throwing ads, they're throwing custom ads at us.
Yeah.
All of everything. Our news feed is not our news feed anymore. Our home page is not our home page anymore, because you start scrolling, even Instagram, you scroll, you see like an update from a friend, you see another friend, and after that, very soon what happens is you start seeing shorts from other people that you don't even know.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do is for you to stay on the platform, watch these shorts.
Yeah.
And then every 5 shorts you're watching like an advertisement, and then there's a few shorts, then there's an advertisement, and that's what really people are not too pleased about, I would say. Especially Facebook is worse at this.
Yeah.
So I think they're coming with the promise that it's going to be like a cleaner, it's like a fresh start for Meta, and though history says that they will probably go back to old habits.
Yeah.
I want to say that this is an opportunity for them to do things differently.
No, I mean, I think they have a history of total disregard for, when it comes to the consumer, they do a lot of things that they just announce at the, and you just suddenly, it just changes, and then you find out later, right? And I think, I don't know if Elon Musk has ever been called up in front of Congress for anything, for any sort of violation or whatever. But I know Zuckerberg has been there quite a few times, right? I mean, he is the CEO of such a big organization, and the reputation, I mean, I feel just the fact that he's been called up so many times for violation, I feel could be a problem, right?
Yeah.
And again, like just going back to the fact that privacy and total disregard for what people actually think and what people actually want, I've not seen that. I mean, I've never seen that with him. And as far as Elon is concerned, I've seen that right off the bat, right? He's actually talking to the consumer and saying, "What do you want? I'm listening," right? And I know it's a much bigger base, right? I mean, they have a much larger base. But what happened to what is that? Friendster, or what is that? What is that?
What is that?
Is
that an application?
No, the initial social media app before Facebook. What was it?
I just remember MSN Messenger.
I remember that. I remember MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace was probably the most prevalent in recent history.
So MySpace, again, they had head start, right? But they died, right? For whatever reason it was. I mean, something
over advertising, actually.
Yeah.
They took a incorrect approach. They started bombarding people with advertisements. You ever go on a website and it's just like pop-ups after pop-ups, and you can't really enjoy the user interface here? Same thing happened with MySpace. They were just trying to capitalize on, making money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Now, speaking about Threads, they're currently not monetizing on that website, and their initial plan is to first reach 1 billion users before they start implementing something like this. Now, I find that this is the first application that is this big that doesn't have any advertising on it. So it kind of feels fluid, clean, natural, straight to the point. Do you think Threads would be a good platform to advertise on, or do you think they should just keep it as is? Because if you look at Twitter, they're just bombarded with ads. They're bombarded with bots and whatnot.
Right.
Threads is the complete opposite, and that's kind of the approach that they're trying to take right now.
Right.
Well, it's brand new, so it's clean, right? I mean, Twitter's been around for a while, so so you do have bots and the such, already implanted in there, and so they already know how to get in there. So, as far as it being clean, is because it's brand new.
Yes.
And now, is Meta going to do a good job of keeping it clean?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's look at Instagram initially. When it first came out, it was just photos, right? And then they implemented videos. And then they implemented stories. Yeah. And then they had this. They had a bunch of features that just didn't work out. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it just didn't flow with the application. It just made it seem so messy. I remember that one. That one icon on the corner was like a TV icon where people can have like their own TV show or whatever. That only lasted
IGTV or something?
IGTV. That didn't last. They also had some other, ideas that they wanted to implement that just didn't work out because it just didn't flow. And now they have stories, they have reels. Now they start suggesting videos to you that you might be interested, following a particular algorithm.
Yeah.
Threads is very simple right now, and a lot of people might like it like that. Once they start introducing new things, could it diminish its value as being a user-friendly application as it is right now?
So the biggest difference for me as a user between Instagram and Threads is the fact that Threads is a cleaner version of Instagram with less images. Obviously, we have the ability to add it, but my intention of using it is as a text-based platform. I'm just going to use it as text, similar to Twitter, not too many pictures.
Yeah.
If you just start implementing stuff that is very similar to Instagram, then you have like a duplicate. And if you have a duplicate, then there's going to be a sense of which one do I use, either or one or the other. But that's what Meta has thought of as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you try to delete your Threads account down the road, you can't do it unless you delete your Instagram account.
Yes, that's a good point. I just found out about that recently.
Which is kind of sneaky.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're incorporating you into the ecosystem in a way where
You can't leave.
you can't. But I'm a firm believer that at the end the consumer has the most control. If Twitter can, I'm not gonna say come down on its knees, but if Twitter can face the amount of pressure and backlash that they have recently, and that has prompted this many people to move over to a brand new platform like Threads, I think it is an opportunity for someone else to simply take over should that happen. So I think it's a consumer-based.
But have really moved over, or have they just been transferred over? I mean, do we have the numbers where you can do a comparison between Twitter and Instagram, right? And so many people were on Twitter and now they're on Threads. I mean, there has such a number come out, because then that's apples to apples. Because right now, it's just an addition to the existing product line. So
Correct.
It really doesn't mean anything at all.
Correct.
It's there. It's easy to add to. People are curious, right? And that's about it. Now when people actually start using it and you start getting some actual feedback,
Right.
I mean, that's something that you can actually relate to and kind of like measure and quantify.
Yeah.
But the way it is right now is, it's something new. People are curious. Let's add it. Let's see how it goes, right? We're still in the let's see how it goes phase.
Absolutely. However, Samir, you have to understand it from this perspective. Let me break it down. Let's say Twitter has 100 users total. Instagram has 1,000. Let's say 300 people come over and they try out Threads. That's still 3 times more than what Twitter has today.
Yeah.
Yes. Once that base is on there, there's a very good chance that a percentage of Twitter is also moving. Yes. Now what they're doing is they're playing a numbers game.
Okay.
The more people, which increases the total probability of users using their platform. Once there is a higher volume of users, it doesn't matter if they lose 20 to 25% of it. It comes down to the absolute number. How much more value are they offering versus what they're getting back? So I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
I think they're right now competing in a league of their own. It's kind of like a monopoly if you think about it. Meta doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But should they go back to a similar business model? It might be challenging. However, I think it might just be too late for Twitter. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. But the one thing that I can't stop thinking about is you have Meta, one of the greatest social media companies out there right now, that have Facebook, they have Instagram, they have WhatsApp, and now potentially having a company such as Threads. Do you see them potentially creating a monopoly here? I'm all in for competition, but this could be an issue. What do you guys think?
I think they already have created a monopoly. The business model somewhat reminds me of what Apple is doing.
Yeah.
They've got multiple products serving a similar purpose, and they all tie into the experience. So what Meta is doing is, I think they're the biggest social media company in the world right now.
Yeah.
And they're really going to capitalize on being everywhere with a different face. So all of these applications that you just shared, they're just different interfaces.
Yeah.
All of the revenue, the benefit, the profits are going back to the parent company. Yes?
Yeah.
It will take a lot of work and a lot of time, effort, and energy for someone to create that ecosystem. It's almost just, when you think about the company, think about Meta as a whole, just compare it to Apple versus everyone else. You're taking on a giant. So in order to do that, you need to provide a lot of value, intrinsic value, to the client base in order to take over. So I think what they've done is they've taken their sweet time, the last 10 years, taken over other, like for example, Facebook took over Instagram and then WhatsApp. This was like a long-term plan. They knew that they were going to incorporate this way. So not surprised, but again, people will just get used to it.
Do you think they would have done it either way? Even if Elon didn't take over, do you think it was something that they were kind of...
Yes, they would have absolutely. They would have absolutely done it because that was their plan all along. And I mean, if you think about any other social media consumption platforms, like, I mean, there was TikTok. I'm just thinking of some here. They're already providing similar content through Instagram. They don't need a separate app for that. Should there be a competitor, they'll just have an equivalent out there. What they now have over the course of 10 years is a very strong user base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a new, like anyone coming in that's brand new, the biggest challenge is, where do I get the users?
Yeah. And typically, most of these companies that are brand new, that are coming out in the social media game, their initial intention is to create something new and then be bought out by, Meta or whoever is the dominant player.
Yeah.
In this case over here, I mean, if you look at Instagram, that was clearly bought out, but they also probably wanted to buy Snapchat. That didn't work out, so they created a Snapchat on Instagram.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Meta wanted to initially buy Twitter. Maybe Elon Musk offered more money. That's why the deal went through. But you see, Meta plays this very interesting game. It's either they're going to buy you out or they're going to recreate something or copy you, per se. I think it's a genius strategy by Mark Zuckerberg. He is the king of social media. You cannot with this guy. Seriously, you cannot mess with this guy. He's on another level. And I understand Elon Musk is a genius and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of things going for him, such as Tesla and the what is it, cyberspace?
Yeah. Well, SpaceX.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like this is the right fit for him to run a company, because ever since he took over, things have just been going downhill. And I had a lot of trust in him. And you know what? I think it's over for him. If you look at the statistics, Twitter has decreased drastically in terms of users over time, especially in the past week. It just plummeted because now people have an alternative go-to.
I want to give you guys an analogy here. I want you to think about this. The best player on any team may not be the best coach, and the best coach may not be the best player.
That's a good point.
Right? So though Elon may have brought a lot of good to the table, Twitter may not be his best, it's not, his playing field.
Yeah.
His effort, energy, his resources may be better utilized elsewhere in science and research. But it's not that you get into a space and you win it every single time. And I mean, he has a track record of doing his best, and he's very persistent. He has failed many times. He may fail. He may come back in a completely different approach, or he might just focus more on his projects like Tesla and SpaceX. So time will tell.
Let's just go back to why he bought Twitter. I mean, from what we know, why did he buy Twitter? It was a different environment back then, right?
Yes.
I guess, there was a lot of censorship going on these platforms. Yeah. And a lot of people are not happy about that. Is that enough? Is that enough to create that move, that migration, or keep Twitter going? Was that enough? I don't know, right? I mean, that's a calculation that he must have made or he must have considered.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I would still say, it doesn't look good for him. But I think like things first, usually things have to get worse before they get better.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
I agree
so
with you, Samir.
I think that the game's not over yet, right?
No.
I mean, he's not thrown the towel into the ring yet. So I still give him the benefit of the doubt. Although I agree, I mean, it's looking way, way better for Meta.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and only time will tell.
Absolutely. Ultimately, consumers have control, and they will determine where the direction of either company goes.
Fair enough. I also have something important to mention here. The CEO of Twitter, Elon Musk, has responded with threats of legal action. On Twitter, he quotes, "Competition is fine, cheating is not." Does Elon Musk have a point here, or is he being a crybaby?
You might have a point.
Well, let's unravel first. What does he mean by this?
Well, you do know that an ex-Twitter employee was hired by by Meta.
But he fired them. Unless they had.
I'm not sure if that
unless they had a particular agreement ahead of time, non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
But I've heard things such as these employees potentially sharing trade secrets,
which is illegal, by the way.
Yeah, and also even the idea of scraping data. I've heard that Meta took that route as well. I don't think that's allowed. Elon Musk might have a point here. If they take this to court, and they provide the right evidence, they might win this.
Again, I'm going back to Mark Zuckerberg's personality per se, right? I mean, he wants to win at all costs.
Yeah,
he does not care, right? I mean, he's always been like that, and he's not going to change. So I think in the end, that might be his downfall.
Very well could be, Samir. And it's well said, because if you look at the other side of the coin, privacy breach is a very common element of the meta world. I think, I don't know why, but in the back of my head, something tells me that Apple might be one of the only companies that may have a very, they might be very focused on privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, if things were to go south for someone like Meta, on the service side, it would be a company like Apple that could pick up consumers very quickly.
Can you just remind me of what happened? There was a bit of a tug of war between.
I can. You're talking about Apple and Mark.
Yeah. I remember something happened, and he was not happy about it because they changed something in their TOS.
Yes. I'll tell you what happened. So what happened is, Facebook uses obviously your location.
Correct.
It uses there was multiple reports that Facebook would use its applications to listen to consumers' conversations, users' conversations. They would use the camera really to access, whereabouts, et cetera, et cetera. So what started happening is, if I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, Mike, or you, Samir, my microphone would activate on the Facebook app, and they would listen to our conversation. If let's say we're talking about tech, as when we go home and we open our feed, we would start seeing ads about whatever we're talking about, Threads or what have you, right? And this became a really big deal, and this was actually what was happening. So what Apple did is, they said, okay, look, we care about our consumers. We do not care about what you're doing. What we're going to do is we're going to push a software update which will allow users the ability to stop tracking. So now you might have all used it on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Allow access or do not allow access. It comes up on every app.
Yeah, it does.
And users started turning it off. And that really hit Mark. His ability to advertise, custom ads were no longer a thing.
Exactly.
And he took it to court, and they went back and forth. But Apple ultimately had the upper hand. They said, look, the consumers should have the choice. If they give you the permission to access, their device and their whereabouts, by all means. But if they say, don't track me, then don't track me. And I think that is, to your point, that could be the downfall of,
I believe so,
of Meta.
Yeah, I mean, that's like spamming, right? I mean, what happened with CAN spam, right? And people were sending you emails, and there was no way for you to opt out.
Yeah.
Now it's become a law that you can unsubscribe.
Yes.
And so, yes, it did hurt a lot of people in the business world, but at the end of the day, it's the consumer.
Correct.
The consumer, if the consumer is happy, then the business is going to do well. And I think, again, it goes back to Apple. They really work directly with the consumer. They really listen to the consumer, right? There's good feedback loop. And that's why they are today a $3 trillion company.
Yeah.
And I think the management, Cook,
Yeah.
right? He understands this.
Yep.
And I don't think Mark Zuckerberg understands this. And I don't see that changing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's going to be something
It's a valid
like
point.
this, which is going to break the camel's back.
I'll give you a relatable, somewhat relatable example. I'm just going to use Apple as maybe an example, not to compare the two because we're talking about Twitter and Threads here. But Apple, let's say you talk about a product that's not functioning the way you intend it to. You take it in. There's a certain experience associated with from the point where you open the app and you get a Genius Bar appointment to taking it in, to them diagnosing it, to them getting you a resolution. Pretty much like 8 to 9 out of 10 times, if it's under warranty, they'll find a resolution for you. On Meta's side, you see graphic content or you see something that's not you're not okay with. You raise, obviously, there's a way to raise a concern report. I don't know what you call it. Nothing ever really happens.
Yes.
I still get similar content loaded on my feed. I never get a response on what happened for content that I flagged.
Yes.
And it's like you're in the dark.
Yeah.
And I said this before, I'll say it again. The consumer will have the final say on
Correct.
what is to be used, how much access they want to give out, and to whom they want to give it out to. So it's very interesting and there's a lot of hype around Threads because obviously it doesn't have everything people hate. You bring it to the platform and it's going to be a different story.
I have just one big issue with Facebook, and I think that's pretty much been there ever since it started, was you cannot get access to their customer service. I mean, they have so many layers of, I don't know, email and back and forth, and it's frustrating.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
I can
frustrating.
attest to that.
And, it's, if the customer, it's like you're not getting any, I think it's just, he's got a lot of people on that platform. And, people are like, well, I have my friends here, I have my family here, it's okay. I'll just, there's nothing else.
But
There's nothing else, so I'm just going to tolerate it.
I agree with you. Today, that may be the case. But when I was watching, let's say, the iOS 17 keynote, there was a lot of focus on iMessage, FaceTime, and the phone. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine them slowly moving into a social media Apple exclusive platform that says, download this and talk amongst your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very hard for them to get a big user base.
You're talking about Apple? Or?
I'm talking about Apple. I keep going back to Apple because excellent customer experience versus, not much of an experience at all.
No, you're right.
You go back to Elon now, and you talk about Twitter, and you talk about the challenges that he's up against.
Mm-hmm.
If he were to address these categorically in this fashion,
True.
he can pretty much come back and be very competitive.
Yes, and there is no hate. Well, it's not love, but there is no animosity between Apple and Elon.
Yeah.
There is a lot of animosity between Apple and Zuckerberg, right? And
Yes.
Apple is a big player. I mean, at the end of the day, where's the content going to be shown? It's going to be shown in Apple's. So they have to play by Apple's rules. And I don't see, there's that tug of war that's going on. Do you agree? Like, what do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I would completely agree. You have to look at Apple. They are the ones that provide the hardware component, and they're probably the most important aspect when it comes to social media. This is how you consume your product.
Exactly.
So you have to abide by the rules when it comes to whatever Apple says, you have to follow. And if you're unable to do so, you're going to have situations like Mark Zuckerberg had with Tim Cook.
Their user experience is like a marriage between hardware and software.
Yes.
If, let's say, let's get Apple out of this, let's say the user experience is great from a hardware perspective, where like it fits like all screen sizes and everything else, like not what happened with the foldables. Let's say that part is taken care of. The second part of it is, what are users taking away? There are a lot of markets that we're all hyped about, like platforms like TikTok and whatnot, but it came to a point where it was not monitored closely enough. Sentiments were hurt. Cultural values were not kept in focus, and a lot of countries over the course of last many months have banned platforms like TikTok, etc. And that's where we talk about the bigger platform like Meta. If we keep pushing, there's only a certain point up until you can push, after which people will say, okay, you know what? I've switched before, I'll switch again.
Yeah, enough is enough, yeah.
All right, guys. Last thing that I would tell Elon Musk is, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. All right, let's keep it moving. For the next topic for today's podcast, the Nothing Phone 2. That's exactly what we're going to talk about. Nothing Phone 2. The Nothing Phone 2 is set to release in the US and globally from July 16th. And the phone will retail for $599 and $929 in Canada, offering upgraded design and processor. The phone faces competition from Google's Pixel 7a, which offers excellent value for its price of $449. It will use Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, which is expected to outperform Google Pixel 7a's Tensor G2 chip. The design of the phone includes a transparent back and flashes LED lights, or glyph, the light up for notification alarms, battery charge status, or as of a fill light for video recording. Now, despite the phone's potent processor, big screen, and unique software, the higher price compared to competitors like Google Pixel 7a might be a challenging gain in the market share. What I'd like to actually show our viewers is, can we go on nothing.com? I believe that's the website. I'd like for you guys to check out this phone. Yeah, so we're going on the website. We're Nothing Phone 2. Now, this comes in a light gray and a white color, and this is a very unique looking phone, actually. If we can actually spin it, give it a 360. You see that little button over there? Now, there we go. Spin it all the way. No? It's all good. No problem. Looks like a crappy... Oh, there we go. Can we spin it all the way? Do we got it? There we go. Yeah. Now, what's the first thing that you think about when you see this phone? I initially think of iPhone. I like its shape, simplicity of design. And if you look at the back of the phone, I think they implemented something where it's actually useful. There's so many cool automation techniques that you can use here. What do you guys think? Would you guys consider using this device?
Okay. The Nothing Phone. When it first came out, I looked at it and I said, that's a better looking iPhone 12.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It had, 5 LEDs, or you want to call it a glyph, 5 glyphs that would give you some notifications, charging animation, and what have you. From last year to this year, when I look at the Nothing 2, aesthetically, it looks almost the same. I mean, if you were not in tech, you wouldn't be able to tell that this is a different phone.
Yeah.
When you start looking closer, what they've done this year is, and this is the first time I'm seeing it, whenever there's a phone with flat sides, the back is also flat.
Yeah.
This year, the Nothing 2 comes with a slightly curved back, which is very different in the hand. It feels very different to hold. Instead of 5 glyphs, they now have 16 LEDs that can do a lot more. They can... For example, one of the LEDs can actually show you your Uber ride status from where you're going, from where you have to, from point A to B. It shows you started here, and by the time you get to your destination, that bar will start filling up in that unit.
Yeah, I saw them use it as like a timer. Like for example, you set up a minute timer.
Yeah.
You see that little bar slowly going down. So, which is a very unique implementation. Go on.
It is, and amongst other things, they've made it more user friendly. You can interact with it more. You can go into settings and play around with it. which is great. They've got this year from a mid-ranger, they've got a slightly better chipset. They've got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, mind you, not the 8 Gen 2. This is last year's chip, or probably the year before, but a better chipset, which is great. Battery life is to improve. Absolutely, they've got a bigger battery in. They've got better cameras going for it, which is also great. Yeah. For the first time on this phone, they've also introduced the LTPO display, which can go up to 120 hertz all the way down to 1 hertz, which, again, all amazing things. This is something that is very normal for an everyday consumer in today's world in the Android space to get all of this for a certain price point. The only, I guess, the kicker, I think, is last year this phone was probably half the price of what it is now in Canada. It's $929 and $999 for the 256 gig model.
Yes.
If I had to, if I was a consumer in the Android space today and I had $1,000 to spend, Mike, I would probably go to Samsung. They've got ridiculous trade-in offers, and I'd probably get a phone, maybe like an S23 or S23 Ultra for maybe a little bit less.
Would you say this phone is too expensive considering where they're currently at in the market?
Absolutely. I think so. I think that's the only thing that's not going for it.
Yeah, and another, interesting thing to respond to here is this company is not trying to compete with flagship models. They only have one device and one device only. And they're competing with very cheaper alternatives such as the Google Pixel 7a or the Samsung A series and whatnot. And when you look at the specs that's currently in the phone and how expensive this device actually is, I don't know if it's worth it, but I think it's worth giving it a try. The one thing that I do like about this company is the CEO. Now, if you guys know anything about the CEO of this company, he's the one that he's actually the co-founder of OnePlus. And he's been with OnePlus, if I'm not mistaken, until 2018. And after that, he went on his own ventures and started working on this particular company over here. But if you look at OnePlus while he was there, OnePlus was one of my favorite companies, and their phones were amazing. And everything from the OnePlus 5, 6, 7, especially the OnePlus 8. And I can see he's kind of incorporating some of its culture onto this phone. And I've always respected a company that is run very, very well. And I like the unique aspect of the glyph. Is that what you call it? The glyph? It's a unique aspect that you can implement onto a phone that no other company is doing. Like if you look at all of our phones, it's just a plain backing, which is kind of boring. But over here, you made something kind of like techie and interesting. I kind of like it.
Yeah, he's actually used the back as real estate. I mean, it's never. Am I right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
To an extent, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of respect for him. He goes out with, I guess YouTubers as well, has a sit-down conversation. He'll go out to the markets and do a hands-on, really help people understand what the company's all about. So kudos to him as an individual. When we talk about the glyphs and how they've implemented this is not new.
Yeah.
Samsung, from the S10 series or the S9 series, has been offering cases and LED cases that you can put on your phone. You put it upside down, and if someone is calling you, the notification bar like literally tells you like someone's calling you. You can have like animations on it.
Yeah.
It gives you notifications for your messages. Very interactive.
Is this like a charging case that you have to plug into the case?
You don't have to charge the case. You just slap it on your phone.
Interesting.
And it does everything for you. Even right now, I think the last one I saw was the Note 9, even the S series, S20s. I saw S21 series. They had these LED view cover cases that would literally show everything that's on the back of this phone, either on the back or the front. And that's why it's not something that's new, but it is definitely a better implementation of what a Samsung case did for us. The only downside for me is the price. Like, it's now priced too high for me to even consider the phone. If I walked into a store and I said I have to pay $1,000, I'd probably go with a Samsung. The second thing is they've really implemented Akshay. If you can scroll back up, I was looking at the back of this phone, which is the height where all the hype is. Scroll down to here's fine. I just want to see the back of the phone. The back of the phone has this tiny little switch, and they could have really implemented that switch to do something unique.
What does that switch currently do right now?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So could this be like an implementation where they can, I don't know, add a feature to it later on?
I mean, that
Placeholder?
switch currently just represents their brand. You flip it, it does nothing.
It's kind of like Tesla has a webcam in the car, you know, it's absolutely inaccessible and useless. But then, 1 month ago, they released Zoom. So now you're able to access it. So I think they're trying to, come up with the approach of let's add something to the device, which we later can implement in a further, iOS update.
Also, what they've done, Mike, is if you look at their stock OS, it's pretty black and white. They've tried to they've kept a minimal approach for users to enjoy. However, they've also given you like the option to go to like a bright, Android setup the way we're all used to.
Yeah.
But this implementation can very easily be copied in the same look, same everything using a launcher.
Yeah.
So if I had an older model Samsung, let's say an S21 Ultra, I could have this basic layout on the front. I could have a case on the back for $350 Canadian dollars. Why spend $700 more?
And am I right in saying it doesn't support 5G? Because I heard it only does 4G in.
I know the first model did, Samir. Not too sure about. Maybe you can.
Because
look at
that
the
could be a.
For me, when I see
Game
this design, it says iPhone. An iPhone is a premium device. They've got the premium price. It's just the device.
Well, let's bring it back for a second. I know you were a big fan of OnePlus initially as well.
Yes.
Why did you like OnePlus so much?
Okay, so my first OnePlus was probably the OnePlus 7 Pro. I used the OnePlus 8 Pro for the longest, and then it kind of tapered from there.
Yeah.
What I loved about the phone is the presentation. Like in a box, they're offering you everything with the case, with stickers, and like a fast charger. So that's like a welcome sight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not priced equivalent to a Samsung. So you're like, okay, fine. Like, I'll give these guys a shot. And then it was the camera. Absolutely ridiculous camera on a OnePlus 8 Pro. And if I had a chance to find that device somewhere on Marketplace or at your store, I'll probably buy it again just for the camera. I have pictures from 2020. I compared those shots from the OnePlus 8 Pro to my S23 Ultra. The OnePlus 8 Pro, for some reason, still does a slightly better job. I don't know how. It might be software.
Yeah.
And that's why I went to OnePlus. It was very clean, easy to use, and that was like the selling point for me. Yeah. Fast forward to OnePlus 9 Pro, 10 Pro, the camera is just not the same, and obviously that's when I stopped using it.
So speaking about cameras, this phone features a 50 megapixel main camera and a 50 megapixel ultra wide camera with improved software processing for better image quality. So it's probably going to use some enhancing tools such as AI or whatnot. Do you think this phone could potentially be a number 3 in the Android game? So we have Samsung, Google Pixel. I don't know who number 3 is right now, but could they potentially be the runner-up?
Well, I want to mention something. As far as the people actually behind the phone actually doing the actual works, I think it's 70% of the people that were working with him on OnePlus have now moved over to nothing.
Well, they definitely have a staggering team. I mean,
so I think, can they recreate it?
I think they can. Well,
I think it's possible.
If anybody can, it's clearly the CEO of the company. I forgot his name. But he clearly knows how to run a business. He's done this before. And I love the approach he's taking with the simplicity of even the name, Nothing. It's such a unique name, the Nothing phone.
I know.
And you look at the style of the phone, it kind of resembles the name Nothing, kind of see-through, straight to the point. Even their website, if you guys kind of go through their website, it's kind of using that old school font that you see like on the original computers, the first Macintoshes or whatever you want to call them. I clearly see the approach they're trying to take, and you see the word premium pop up there. Do I feel that? It's hard for me to really judge that until I actually see the phone in my hands. But from what I see right now, I think they're still fairly priced. From what I see right now, I still think that they're priced fairly high. But then again, I'd like to give my honest opinion once I actually get the device in my hand. And I think we're going to get it in our store probably in the next month or so. And you guys can always check it out on flipafone.com. That's FLIPAFONE.com. You'll see everything on there. And you guys have anything else you'd like to add to this phone?
I would like to,
on this topic?
I'd like to mention when I was watching the video, and I think the CEO was talking about the phone. I can tell he has foresight. So he didn't look too worried.
Yeah.
This guy knows where he's going. Another thing I wanted to mention was that I did not know about the case that you were mentioning, where you can put it on the phone and you can get that kind of functionality. But what I got from the interview was that he was trying to, again, create that disconnect between us and the phone, and we're constantly on the phone.
Yeah.
And I found that to be very interesting, where, you have those LED lights, right? I mean, whatever those lights, and they have a certain functionality. So like you said, Uber, and you don't have to keep looking at your phone, flipping it over.
Yeah.
So I think that he's giving people that option, which I found that to be quite neat, because I don't want to be constantly looking at my phone. Okay, where's my Uber? Where's this? Yeah. And constantly, especially the brightness.
Right.
It's kind of hard on the eye sometimes. So, what I thought was that he is, and another thing, he's the packaging, I believe, is recyclable, or it's from recycled material, or to something to that effect. Yeah. So I think he's trying to move in that direction, where he's trying to reduce the footprint.
Right.
Right. He's trying to bring out a phone that looks good, right? It's got the functionality, and also the whole widget concept. When I was listening to the interview, it never came to me, but what he's trying to do is use widgets to just put that on the screen, the way we saw it, and just something that you can just, okay, I need this right away. Okay, I need this right away. You don't have to go to your phone and scroll to the phone and find it, and so again, I find that personally very time consuming. So it just kind of puts it right there for you. This is what I use, and this is what I need, and this is what I need the phone for, right? And if I want, I can go into it and use it even more. I have the option, but this is the way I want it to be. So I found that to be quite interesting.
Okay, so I agree with you partially, not entirely, because here's my closing comments. If for most people that want a premium experience, you'll see them using a new iPhone eventually, and then they get hooked into the ecosystem. The Android space has so much competition that there's not many premium players out there. There's Samsung, which is predominantly in the space where they have Candy Bar, Flip, and Fold. These phones are being offered at a significant discount. The Android space is very competitive, so price is a very big factor for people deciding to go into the space. You come into the market with $1,000 phone with an older chipset with IP54 rating versus IP58. Then you have a little bit less of everything against bigger companies that have a little bit more of everything for a little bit less. It doesn't it doesn't resonate with most buyers. And the reason OnePlus was successful was because the OnePlus 1 through the OnePlus 8, they were pretty well priced. They offered tremendous value at a tremendously, I would say, lucrative price point. The moment they went past the $1,000 mark, we saw OnePlus start to taper off. Yeah. So that's going to be something that they need to learn from very quickly.
I agree.
One more thing. I wanted to mention, when he first started out, he did not have, like when he moved over, right? Yeah. He didn't have the resources, right, to actually create something that would be wow. Yeah. So I think he's kind of like, he's going through a process where I'm sure he knows exactly what we're talking about, right? And he knows what improvements have to be made, and he knows about pricing, and he knows about competition, and he knows about, how to position the product. He's already done that. Yeah. So I think what he's doing right now is he's just wait and see game.
Let's see. Yeah. At the end of the day, you cannot be Apple or Samsung overnight.
And he knows that.
Yeah. Now, OnePlus One has sold 800,000 units on its launch, as it was initially predicted by the CEO. what are we assuming, or what are your predictions on Nothing Phone 2? How many units are they going to sell at launch?
Timing is big on this. I think fewer than what they're anticipating, just because we're in that time. We're at that time of the year where other companies are about to launch, and as we're going to into Techtober as well, eventually after all of that, after the dust settles. So I think Samsung, right after that Apple, it's just going to be like a lot of noise, and many consumers will go to those companies first before they say, okay, let's see what other competitors have to offer.
I agree. I'm actually willing to give it a try. You said you're going to get the Fold 5 coming up. We'll get the Nothing Phone 2. We'll get the white version, and we'll do a little unboxing live.
Sure.
And
Is it being sold?
it's currently pre-order right now. So
Okay.
Fold 5 we have probably coming out in next couple of weeks. July 26th, if I'm not
July
mistaken.
26th,
Yeah.
and I think it'll be available sometime early to mid-August. We should
Okay.
have it in hand.
Okay, I'm actually willing to give this phone a try. I don't like Android.
I wanted to as well,
I don't
yeah.
like Android, but I'm really fascinated with this company, and I want to see how this phone works. All right, guys, we're gonna keep it moving for today. We got a very exciting game to play. It's gonna be called "What's Inside That Box." Now, how you're gonna play this game is we're gonna have a box in front of us, and Akshay has chose 7 unique phones for our 7th episode. So we're gonna have to insert our hands in this box and guess what that phone is based on touching it and feeling the camera bumps, the size of the screen and whatnot. And we're gonna have to predict what it is. So I'm gonna explain to you guys what we're gonna do here. We're gonna put the box on the table, and there's no peeking. Clearly, there's holes on the side, so you might be able to see it, but really try not to look at it, okay? So we're gonna put the box on the table. We're gonna try to inspect it. We're gonna go one at a time, and then Omar, you're gonna be the last person to inspect it. So then we're gonna put it to the side. We're gonna write our answers on the whiteboard, and we're gonna reveal our answers. And this is going to be a game that we're gonna have to track in terms of points. So whoever wins this game has to buy dinner for the other person, or us as a crew. Done? Are we ready?
I have only one question.
Yeah.
How do I stop Samir from copying my answers?
That is a very good point. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you here.
Samir.
You know what we should do? You ever go to those government buildings and you're like signing up for a passport and there's like a divider in front of you? I think we actually have a divider at the back. We should maybe put it over here just in case.
Just in case, yeah. Mike, can you pass me the box?
I feel the love.
Okay, so I'll go first.
I promise I won't look.
Okay, so really do not look at it. And
Everyone close your eyes.
okay, so we
Everyone
have to
close their
actually
eyes.
close our eyes, okay?
Are you meditating?
Before you start, sorry, let's get the things ready here as well. I will let you know when to actually start.
Okay.
That's for you, that's for you, that's for
Thank
you.
you. Here you go.
And we got our pens today.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun. And let the games begin. Close your eyes or look
All
this
right.
way. Just look at the screen and let me know when it's inside the box.
Okay,
Here,
cool.
How many fingers do I have up? 5. You're
This is
wrong.
okay. Are you ready? Okay, just I have to take off my headphones so I can hear him. I really do not want to see it from a side angle. Okay? Is it inside?
Yes, it is.
Is it inside, Samir? All right. I'm not gonna look at the box, and I'm gonna try to kind of conversate with you guys as I'm trying to feel what it is. Okay, so this is the first device, and automatically, I think I know what it is. It actually feels like it has a fake screen, so this might be a little bit tougher. I think, yeah, I'm pretty confident in this answer. Samir, you go next.
You did all 7 already?
No, it's just one at a time.
One at a time. So you're going to check it out. Do not peek at all. Just go by the feeling of the phone. Can you move this
Yeah,
away?
I'll probably move these.
We'll try to do this as quick as possible. So you should have about 5 seconds, you know, because we can be feeling up things all
Yeah,
day.
there should be a time limit.
All right, you good? That's it. Next. So you have to look up just in case. All right.
Just double checking. I have the answer.
It past it.
How do I like?
And then you're going to just
Yeah.
Has to be exact.
like that. Perfect.
There you go.
Okay, are we good? All right, that was interesting, but I have an answer. Does everybody have
One
something
second.
written on the board?
I just need 5 additional seconds because. Well, yeah, of course. Oops.
Yeah, everybody always try to talk into the mic. I know we get a little excited sometimes. What are you writing, a Harry Potter book, bro?
I'm actually writing down the color as well.
Oh my god.
Okay, I've got my answer.
Okay, I'm gonna put the color as well just in case. All right, I will go first,
Sure.
or should we go all at the same time?
I think it doesn't really matter. Akshay can let us know at the end, I guess. Once.
Okay, we're gonna go out at the same time. One,
Okay.
two,
What if mine is wrong?
All right, you guys can reveal your answers.
1, 2, 3. 11 Pro graphite,
11.
iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro. So graphite, green, and so
Okay.
color is irrelevant here, but we're trying to be funny.
It's a Graphite 11 Pro.
Okay. All right, so
3 cameras. I should have known. I knew it was 11.
I'm gonna keep the point system here. So U, M, and S. So we're gonna give 1 point for me and one
I
for
just
Samir.
guessed. It felt like a graphite. I actually need a travel phone, so I'll talk to Mike about this one later.
At least I got 11 right.
All right, so that was fun. So first
just leave it
device,
here.
the 11 Pro, guys. Check it out.
It was 3 cameras.
You can leave the ones in the middle. Leave them in the middle so that we can look at all of them at the end.
So yeah, we will. I guess leave it over here.
I guess.
Graphite.
This is our first time playing this game, guys. So bear with us.
Only he can
All right,
get
close your
graphite.
eyes, guys. Close your eyes.
All right,
Everyone turn around.
Look in the screen. Yeah, I really don't want to ruin this and kind of peek at it. It'll just ruin the experience for me. So really try to avoid looking at this thing. All right. I think maybe even looking up sometimes. Imagine the mics were like this. Is that weird?
All right, guys.
Yeah,
it's
it's
it's in
definitely
there. It's in
Okay,
there.
I am going to go first. By the box. Okay. All right. Okay, now, right away, this is an interesting one. Okay. Ooh, okay. I think I know what this is. Oh, this is tough. Okay.
Lifted it up, bro. Oh my god.
You know what? I don't know how that happened, but I envisioned Samir doing that. I'm like, only Samir would do that. This would be Samir here. Okay, let's check.
And it was what, a 13 Pro Max?
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you go get another phone from the back? We're gonna keep this in a video though. Okay. This is the type of shit that happens on our podcast.
All right, guys. It's in there.
You know what? I thought it was an iPad.
Oh, this is a big screen. Okay. Let's see what this is. Okay. Okay, I actually.
I was like, that's just only supposed to be phones. Actually, I was feeling my pet.
I know what this is. I'm pretty sure. But this is an interesting one because this can be many things. So it's like whoever gets this right. Actually, no, it can't be many things. Let me try one more time.
Is it a tough one to guess, actually?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
You know what he said?
what?
The last time I was trying to field the phone, I thought it was an iPad. There's nothing in it.
Samir kills me sometimes. Okay, do you know what it is? I mean, do you already have an idea? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, I'm not supposed to see.
You saw it.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I kind of know what it is.
Okay. Does everybody have answers?
1 second.
Yeah, it was either one or the other, but
No, it's probably just the one.
yeah, but
Probably just the one.
It's hard. It's hard to say.
No, it's not. I'll tell you why it's not. I'm not looking, but I'll tell you. Yeah, it's 100%.
I think I know what you're implying, but
yeah. I'm implying. We've got the answers in,
okay,
right?
ready?
Okay.
One.
Wait, let me go wide angle.
Okay.
Sure.
1, 2, 3. I got a 6S.
iPhone 6 or 6S. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so he got an iPhone 7. I'll tell you why I didn't choose iPhone 7. And you chose iPhone 6. Now, this is what I meant by it could either be a 6 or 6S, but this is the luck game. Who got it right?
I think we got it right because the 7 and the 8 had a taptic engine instead of a
Yes,
physical home
yeah,
button.
Yeah.
And
this
this is
is-
a 6S, you're right. So physical button, even if it's powered off, versus a
Yeah.
7.
I wanted to say
And do you know the? So obviously it actually wasn't even the first thing that I looked at. I'm like this was like confirmation that this was either going to be a 6 or 6S.
Yeah.
Now, but the first thing that I would initially feel is you see these little things over here. So the 7 doesn't have these. So I automatically knew that this was going to be
Dead giveaway is your taptic engine. That's the first
for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing that I'm looking for.
okay,
It's like
okay.
this is the 100%. I'm like, because I know the 7 doesn't have these, and then I turn the phone over and I start pressing the button. I'm like, okay, so this phone actually presses. Because if this phone was dead, number one, you wouldn't be able to press the button.
Correct.
If you could, it would
It
be
feels different.
It would be like what is it, haptic, right?
Yeah, it's a taptic engine.
So taptic energy. There we go. And
yeah.
yeah, so there isn't much of a difference between 6 or 6S. Should we give the point to both me and Omar? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll give that
the
both.
same phone. Sorry.
I'm doing really well.
But okay, so how would you distinguish between a 13 Pro and a 14 Pro? That would, I know the bumps are slightly bigger.
Yeah, the camera rings are
But
bigger.
so let's be fair. If the body is completely identical, like for example the SE Gen 2 and Gen 3,
Yeah.
I think it's fair enough to say.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
It's
so we
tough
got
to-
2 and 2. So
got the
far,
next
me
one?
and Omar are
Yeah.
tied.
All right, everyone turn
I'm
around.
tied to 0.
All right.
Well, you guessed the iPad, right?
Funny guy over here.
Okay, I'm gonna begin with the third device here. Okay. Ooh, this is different. This is different. This is a tough one, I think, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm telling you now, this is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got it?
Is there a time limit on this?
Yeah, I'm
It's
almost
okay,
ready.
please.
I'm almost ready.
It's not taking too long.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I really don't know what it is, but I'm gonna take a guess.
Did you see?
You can do a quick replay.
It's a tough one. I'm trying to think.
Bro, you know this one.
No, I don't.
You don't know this one.
What, do you know it?
I think I do.
Based on the first two answers.
It's not what you think it is.
No?
No.
5, 4,
I know.
3,
Yeah, okay.
2, 1. That's it. That's all you get, bro.
Next.
Time, bro. You're cheating. You're over the time.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Okay. I think hold on.
Yeah.
It is.
That's what I said too. It's a tough one. Very, very difficult.
5, 4, 3,
Yeah, don't rush.
2,
Don't rush me.
1. But you got a timer, bro. It's all in the game.
Okay, I think I might just know.
I just saw a glimpse of it. I picked up the box by accident, but I swear to God, I do not know what it is. I actually don't know what that is. But
I think when you pull it out, you probably are not going to even know what it is. Maybe Omar might know, but yeah. I have no idea what this phone is. I just know by the name.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to my my original answer here.
Hold on.
I don't know what the actual phone is called, but I think I know what it is.
Hold on. There's that one. Yeah, that's fine.
You saw it?
No.
Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell what it is.
There's that one, and there's that one, and there's that one. Sorry, I'll just take another second. There's that one, which you don't have in stock.
He's memorized the stock.
I'm remembering what
He's
you have
playing
in stock.
21 right now. He's playing with the poker dealer. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
we got
let's
it?
go.
All right, what do we got, guys? 3, 2, 1. I'm very interested to see what everybody has. Samsung S20,
S8 Samsung.
S8, and I got the Oppo.
You have an Oppo?
Yeah, only because I have it in stock. That's what I assumed it was. I really don't know what this is. And what is it?
It's a Samsung.
It's
It's
the
not
A10e.
Ooh, that is difficult.
Yeah, I picked a hard one.
Man, I would have never guessed that.
I don't even know
But
this.
yeah.
I don't even know.
We don't use cheap phones here, bro.
I know. That's why
I
I
got
grabbed
the Samsung.
You know what? Looking at this, what did you originally say? S8?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was definitely not the S8 because the camera on the S8 is in the middle, right?
Oh,
On
okay.
the S8, there's
I initially started feeling it. I'm like, the camera bump resembles like an iPhone X.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but as soon
But
as
then there was a curve.
But the moment I started continuing, I'm like, this is too cheap. This is
Yeah.
definitely not an iPhone X. It's too light. There's a lot of things that I consider.
Right.
I automatically knew it was going to be an Android device, and I knew it was going to be a cheap one because it's so light. But I chose the Oppo. We have one Oppo in stock. It's a very difficult one. Okay, let's keep it moving.
yeah.
This one's going to be a little bit easier for you guys, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 0.
A10.
Yeah, we all got
When
0
did the
on that
A10
one.
come out? I don't.
Everyone turn around, turn around.
Yeah. A10e is I think one of the after the 803.
I think
803?
even if we saw it, we wouldn't have been able to guess what model it was.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go for the next device here. Ooh, this is an interesting one. All right. Now I find that I think Omar would probably know this one better than anybody, but pretty confident in this. Samir? Yeah, I definitely think Omar is going to know this one. It could be one or the other. You'll know what I mean. But because you've actually probably used this guy, you're probably going to know what I'm talking about. You have the upper hand here.
Imagine if I get it wrong.
You know what? You might.
I might.
You might.
Let's see.
See what happens. Okay, that's it.
Oh, very familiar.
Speaking to the mic, please.
Very, very familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it is a.
You know what I mean by one or
Which
the
one
other.
is it?
No, I know which one it is.
Yeah.
100%.
There's only, I think, one way to actually distinguish it.
There's just one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is everybody ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's reveal. Omar got the Z Fold 4.
Z Fold 4.
Z Fold 4, Z Fold 4. What is it?
Okay, let's take a quick look. It is indeed the Z Fold 4.
Is the Z Fold, is it at the 3? That's what it was.
The 3 actually has a bigger bezel.
Oh, I was in the wrong section then, because, okay.
This is, this is a Fold 4.
Okay.
Wait, let me see.
The Fold 3 has a much bigger bezel here on the
No,
side.
bro. This is... Yeah. Wait a minute.
Show me. I'll tell you how to distinguish between the 3 and the 4.
Controversy. Is it the Fold 4 or the Fold 3?
No, I could tell by the bezel. It's I mean the camera bumps alone, they look fairly bigger. But
No. So if you look at the bezel,
yeah,
at the front screen, the bezel on the Fold 3 comes out a lot more than the Fold 4. So it's definitely a Fold 4.
Oh yeah.
well, I'm turning it on.
Turn it on. Go into settings.
Let me just quickly inspect.
That's what I just grabbed it from there. So
No. I probably someone.
Yeah, I got 1.2.
Hey, well, okay, it's a Z Fold 4. We're correct.
okay, cool.
You all got it right.
Okay.
It's good that we're.
All right, so 1 point each. It is currently 3-3-1. Me and Omar are tied. So, how many? This is going to be the 5th device auction?
Yeah, we got 2 more left after this. We got 2 more left after
So
this.
3 in total, right?
Banged up.
Okay. I like how we have a little bit of everything here.
Yeah.
Man, that 13 Pro Max, I was going to say 14.
You were gonna say 14?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see what's next. Okay, this one is... I think I know what this is. Yeah, this is pretty easy. I think. Oh, no. Yeah, it's fairly... Yeah, this is 100%. This one is a no-brainer to me, in my opinion. Now, I really like
This one is relatively easy. Yes.
Yeah. Samir, you better know this one.
it's the S2.
It's an Nokia N95, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, on the fuck. Come on.
If I get this one wrong, I'm quitting the business. You don't do that?
I don't know if that's allowed. I feel like that's against the rules.
Okay, we good. I'm done. Now we know it's not again. Now we know that's
Okay,
not allowed,
okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, what?
What did you get?
I didn't check.
Samir, how? Okay,
I didn't check the front.
I said iPhone. Well, it's a 7 Plus. I said 8 Plus, similar design, black or gold. So we
Yeah.
got black, right?
Well, it's gonna be one or the other.
What did you get?
Yeah, I got A+ as well.
Plus, but the reason it's a 7
Black or
Plus,
gold?
and the only thing.
Can you
that
talk
gives
into the
it
mic,
away is
please?
Sorry, it's a 7 Plus. The only thing that makes it
I gotta
very
quit this
similar
business.
to an 8
Yeah.
Plus is the jet black. But
That's-
how did you get
yo,
XS Max?
The only reason
felt it.
I went back into that box was to see if it was glass or not. I legit thought that was glass. So that was
felt like glass.
yeah, of course. I mean, this is the only unique material on the device, which was the least popular in my opinion. You know, everything else felt more like aluminum, right?
Yeah, if it was aluminum, I would have said 7
yeah,
Plus.
but this was guaranteed A+.
it's a very
to
nice
me.
color. It's probably like the
man.
best. This is the best
Yeah.
rendition of a black iPhone that
yeah,
I've seen.
and for the XS Max, I understand why you thought that
camera.
initially.
Yeah, it was a
The
camera.
camera is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it goes
and
down.
It's a little. It's chunkier.
Yeah.
It's a heavier phone. But
That's all good. So that was actually the most difficult one. That was a trickster right there. All right. We're going to move on to the 6th device, right?
yes.
Okay.
So is that does that count as a yes or a
No, that's a no.
okay?
Yeah, we're gonna keep that as a no. The reason being it was incorrect. Are we good? Okay, this one is gonna be an interesting one. Okay, this is easy, I think. But it could be one of the. Actually, no, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. You have to get these next 2 for you to win.
For me to win?
All right, time's up.
Time's up. This is what concerns me the most.
I don't know if it's.
What the hell? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Graphite.
Fuck off. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's not an iPhone, Samir. I'll give you that.
I know that.
There's one thing that gave it away to me here, but
One more time. No. Sorry.
damn.
You can't change your answer.
Just like I got the wrong year. I haven't seen the phone, so.
Yeah.
And this is. Hold on.
That's it. Let's go.
No. 1 second. I'm not gonna change them all. I'm just trying to figure out the color.
Oh my god, color. This guy's next level.
Hold on. Okay, even if I get the model wrong,
The color doesn't count.
this is like a gold or a. Okay, if I got the model right, this is called green,
What is
green or something, whatever, hazelnut something.
What are you?
I was just asking your
bro?
sister earlier, and she said this is the color we have.
Okay.
So
Well, okay. Short answers. 3, 2, 1.
Google 7 Pro.
7 Pro. 7 Pro. Okay, we all got it.
okay, let's take a quick
I
look.
believe actually we all got. I was that confident in the answer.
And it is the green.
It is the hazel
pixels.
color. So that
How'd you know
is
the color?
that's the only one we have in stock.
There's only one that you have in stock that's actually not brand new.
This guy knows our stock.
Nice.
Okay,
I
so
might talk to you about this one as well later.
4, 4, 2. Me.
This
and
is gonna be the
Omar,
last and
sudden
final
death,
one?
Sudden death.
This is gonna be the hardest one.
Okay.
I saved the hardest one for the last.
Okay.
It's a nice color.
It's not bad.
That-
I could never get get to the liking of Google Pixels.
Yeah.
I just
The interface is not as good.
I initially liked them at first, but now I'm like, eh.
I mean,
Nothing phone. I'm gonna go for that one.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it in? Okay.
No. Turn around. Turn around.
This
All right.
is the last one, right?
Best for last. Let's make this suit. Is this gonna be difficult, Akshay? Sudden death.
All right, it's ready. It's ready.
Okay. All right. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah. Damn. All right, one more time. I need about two minutes on this.
Very nice. Sorry, I got carried away.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
What's the score at? 4, 4, and 2. Okay. So Samir, if you guess the phone, the color, and the storage, we'll give you 2 points.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
I think next time we need a timer, like a real.
I think even after the timer, Samir just keeps going for another 10 seconds. Okay.
This is definitely the toughest one for sure.
It is.
Um,
Hold on, I need some time.
that's what I said. And I don't think that time is gonna do anything. You just kind of have to remember what you touched.
Oh, I know what it is.
Ah, man. Okay.
I might be very wrong, but I know what it is. Because there's no Samsung that does justice to that design.
It's not a Samsung.
Well,
All right. Are we ready?
I don't know.
oh. And this is in the metallic silver color, metallic mist, whatever the hell. I just gave you your answer.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. OnePlus 9 Pro.
OnePlus 9 Pro.
Samsung S10.
S10.
Okay.
Okay.
Bro, how are you guys so good at this?
Yo.
All right, so
OnePlus
me-
9 Pro. Holy cow.
me and Omar are tied, and Samir's a loser. So that means you have to buy us dinner.
Easy win.
Yeah. Well, that was very
Fun.
fun.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting concept. I know we usually do the basic tech trivia, but today we wanted to incorporate something unique, and we definitely did that. So guys, this was the OnePlus 9 Pro. Next up, we had the Google Pixel 7 Pro. Then we had the very tricky iPhone
that was
7 Plus. This
that
was
was the
supposed to be the
toughest
8
one.
Plus. That was definitely the toughest one. The next one was a Samsung Fold 4 that could have easily went to Fold 3 as well, but the camera bumps at the back was a giveaway. This was also a very tough one. This was a Samsung A10e. I think it's just not a very common phone for us to use.
That was this one.
Then we had the iPhone 6s, classic. We had the iPhone 11 Pro and
the one that we got
the
wrong.
nothing phone that Samir couldn't touch. That was it, folks, and that was a lot of fun to play this game with you guys. If you guys are new to this channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, and also make sure you check out our new website, Flipafone.com. That's Flipafone.com. We would greatly appreciate it. We love you, we appreciate you, and that's a wrap.